You are listening to the Armchair Crew Chief podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Armchair Crew Chief. My name is Jordan, and I am here with my lovely wife, Rebecca.
Hello.
And conspiracy or not, or just a whole bunch of Hendrick Motorsports or not, let's dive into it. We have a lot to unpack here, and a lot. I mean, stuff I heard. So I had the fortunate opportunity to go down to the race and watch the Cup Series race from Martinsville, first row, a little bit past the choose cone. So yeah, it was interesting, but it was a dull race. It was an experience I won't forget because it was pretty wild. But overall, it was a boring race, and we have people to back it up, and people that are actually everybody else is listening to. That eventually, I want to get us to listen to us.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and dive into the Truck Series race. We'll go with qualifying, and we'll start with our top five: Nick Sanchez, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, Christian Eckes, and Ty Majeski. And then stage one, we had Nick Sanchez, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Christian Eckes. Going into stage two, it was Caden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski, Chase Purdy, Tyler Ankrum, and Christian Eckes. And then it was a wreck fest from what I saw. Everything, it's like every time somebody start, they would wreck. And they ended up having, where was it? It was 11 cautions for 81 laps out of, this was a 200 lap race.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
So almost half of it was under caution. And my goodness.
That's a short track for you.
Yep, especially with trucks and how these guys run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. It was the parts that I saw, again, were just a lot of wrecking. So, getting into the information here, our race winner and so on. Let's go top five: Tyler Ankrum, Nick Sanchez, Chase Purdy, Ty Majeski, and Christian Eckes. Christian Eckes led the most laps, 133 laps out of the 200 laps he led. And it was interesting. It was, like I said, it was a lot of wrecking. He took over. Eckes led the first 104 laps, swept the stages, and then worked his way back through the field from 19th after pitting at the stage 2 break. And that's the one thing about with the trucks is they don't have to pit that much like the cars do and so on, because they're only running 200 laps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you press your luck with that. He said it was something really special, quoting him, "We came here last year and weren't really that great, maybe a 6th place truck." He started 6th and finished 15th last year at Martinsville. The victory is the second of the season for Eckes, who won the pole last month at Bristol.
It was the first two-time winner.
Yes.
Season.
Is it for trucks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was interesting to see. Chase Purdy ran third to post his 4th top 5 finish in 81 Truck Series starts. Nick Sanchez 4th again, and then so on. Cam Waters, an Australian supercar star, who everybody's looking at SVG, but he had his deal before SVG did. So he was coming over here before Shane ever even, I guess, thought about coming over here, really, to run consistently. He finished 30th in his debut, casualty of a chain reaction collision on lap 177. He was running for Thor Sport. spewing hot vapor like a geyser. I remember seeing that, and it was nuts. He got caught up in the bottom, and I think it was in one of the turns, and then you just see he ran into somebody and it just crushed his radiator in, and everything is just. It was a sight to see. Quoting him, he said, "I had so much fun tonight and all day. It's a totally different race from what I'm usually do, and I just wanted to learn. I learned so much. There at the end, I just had nowhere to go and knocked the radiator out of it. It's a shame, but I was having fun, learning and some awesome battles too." Post-race inspection, everybody passed for the trucks. So, moving on, and I think Timmy Hill, I think that was this race, or it was last race. Timmy Hill got into it with Dean Thompson afterwards. I think it might have been this race. I can't remember now because they didn't run last week, did they? The trucks at Richmond. I don't think they did. I don't recall. Everything's running together.
Yeah.
Anyway, Timmy Hill got into it with him, with Dean Thompson. I believe it was Dean. No, it was Stuart Friesen. Excuse me. Dean. So it was, and they finished next to each other. So probably it was that 19th and 20th. Yeah, Timmy Hill was heated. He was very upset.
Which is interesting because I don't think he's normally like that.
Right. Yeah. So it was very interesting to see that and how that worked out.
He seems very laid back, so something really made him mad.
Moving over to Xfinity, our top 5 for qualifying was Allgaier, Jeb Burton, Sheldon Creed, Cole Custer, and Brandon Jones.
But a ton of cars had to go to the back.
A ton. So you had Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier. Pretty much all the junior motorsports cars went to the back. Mm-hmm. Carson Quaffle, he ran here.
Chandler Smith? He didn't even get to qualify. They took his car back to North Carolina.
That was pretty wild. So they took his car back to North Carolina, rebuilt a car, wrapped it that morning, and drove back. Now, just to kind of give an idea, Martinsville is roughly 2 hours north of Charlotte. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that crazy of a feat, but the fact that they did it in a night, fixed the car up and everything, and then brought it.
Night,
that was pretty interesting to see. Going into our stage 1, top 5: AJ Allmendinger, Sam Mayer, Cole Custer, Sheldon Creed, Eric Almirola. Sheldon Creed had a pretty strong car.
He did.
Then going into stage 2, Allgaier had won that stage. Almirola second, Sammy Smith third, Carson Quaffle fourth, Cole Custer fifth.
Was it in the second stage where we had that big wreck?
Let's see if and that was something I was going to bring up. There was a big wreck. Let's see if I can find out.
In the first stage, Haley Deegan got taken out. Somebody hit her. Well, she didn't get taken out of the race, but made her spin and ripped off the front of her car. But she made a nice comeback and finished 18th or something.
Yeah, I don't see. They don't even in the post race. They don't even talk about it, and I don't see any more information about it. But yeah, there was a big wreck on a restart.
Yeah, Brandon Jones missed a gear. And it was just...
It caused everybody
an accordion, bad.
Yeah, really bad. I think it was in the second stage because if you look at it, Austin Hill, Parker Kligerman, it caught AJ Allmendinger, all those guys. They all got knocked out. Austin Hill, oh my goodness, the stuff he said on his radio that they were playing. The guy missed a shift. Sorry about that. And then he's like, you think we would have gotten all this set up and everything, that we wouldn't be missing shifts. It's like, come on, dude.
He's way too
and you're the turd, and you're the turd that was dive bombing somebody that was out racing you, and then called out him for doing the crap that you did.
Well, here's the thing that's just going to happen. It's the whole law of you reap what you sow. He just sowed, we're still going to be doing that. He's going to miss a shift one of these races, and he's going to be like,
Yeah, but they're going to punt him somewhere. It's not going to be him punting.
No, I'm just saying. He said
up.
he's saying like somebody was stupid for missing a shift.
Right, exactly.
And it's going to happen to him because it's just what happens. Like
right,
like he did it on purpose.
Exactly. So finishing up the race here, and then we'll get into some of the more information that was going on. Our top 10 were Josh Williams scored a top 10 for Colic, which is pretty good. He was running pretty well all the time. Jesse Love up there in 9th. Cole Custer 8th. Sammy Smith 7th. Sheldon Creed 6th. Allgaier 5th. Carson Quaffle, his run here, that was pretty awesome to see him do it. Chandler
Sheldon
Smith.
Creed, I wish they had a little scuffle there at the end too.
Yeah, he did.
And he ended up back. I was so hoping that he could have got at least second or third, but
yeah,
that got a little jumbled up at the end.
Yeah, Chandler Smith 3rd, Sam Mayer 2nd, and Eric Almirola took the win and the Dash for Cash money, the 100K.
Yeah. And he was so excited. At the beginning of the race, Blaney talked to him how he came in second in the fall race or whatever.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, why did you bring that up?"
I think this is his first win at Martinsville.
Yeah, and Blaney was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have brought that up. I hope he wins now."
Yeah.
And then he won.
So in the
cool.
in the booth, we had Blaney, who I think is always pretty good, and then you had Cindric, who he gets annoying after a while. His voice is annoying to listen to when it comes to some of this stuff. And he just gets annoying.
He's all right. He thinks he's a better race car driver than
he really is.
Commentator, and I think he's a better commentator than race car driver.
Yeah, probably, definitely. So, yeah, Eric Almirola led. He went out there and he was kicking some tail.
Yeah,
he led 148 laps. I think he got out to 2 or 3 second lead at one point too.
He did. Mm-hmm.
And then Sam Mayer was up. Junior Motorsports had their comeback here. I mean, if you look at the top 7 really is all JRM or Joe Gibbs. Mm-hmm. Almirola, Gibbs, Chandler Smith 3rd, Gibbs, Sheldon Creed 6th, Gibbs, and then you had Sam Mayer 2nd, Junior, Carson Quaffle, Junior 4th, Allgaier 5th, Junior, and Sammy Smith, Junior.
Yeah.
And then
Junior Motorsports needed that though. They haven't been.
Yeah. Well, and
not that
so
they've been doing bad. It's just I just feel like at this point
they've had a run of bad luck so far.
Yeah, it just like this part of the season, you would think that one of them would have won already.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Brandon Jones a little bit because he did really well. He was running up there, and then he missed that shift, and he got into some junk, and it just
yeah, and they came from the back,
right,
and they're doing really well. But.
So they ran the Dash for Cash, and it was
Sheldon Creed just misses it because for next week because.
No, they're going to give it to him.
Sheldon?
Yep, because Almirola not running.
No, he because he came in 6th.
Yeah,
so it's the top 4.
So our Dash for Cash.
So Almirola's not running, so it goes down to it's 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Right. So Almirola, he won the Dash for Cash bonus as we were talking about. Speaking of that, SVG finished 11th, which was pretty decent for his first run at this track.
Yeah.
But going back to Dash for Cash. At Texas next weekend, or this coming weekend, our Dash for Cash drivers are going to be Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, Justin Allgaier, or Chandler Smith, excuse me, Justin Allgaier, and Sheldon Creed.
Really? Who'd they take out?
Well, you had Carson Quaffle.
Oh.
He's not running there.
Okay.
So that dropped it down.
Yeah. Sheldon Creed, I hope he wins.
Yeah, which is going to be kind of a snooze fest race, if you ask me. Texas is always Texas is like Michigan.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Maybe it will be more exciting.
Yeah, maybe so. Who knows?
Let's hope.
So let's move on to the 40th anniversary of Hendrick Motorsports.
That's all this was. This was an exhibition race, and it was so bad.
So I watched the recap DVR of the TV, of just scrolling through it before we even get into the race itself. Scrolling through it, everything was Hendrick Motorsports.
Yes, that's all they talked
Hendrick
about
Motorsports
the whole time.
brought buses and took like 1,500 people and they were sitting in turn 2, like all around turn 2. Mm-hmm. All you saw was red shirts because they were red. Mm-hmm. Then the pre-race stuff in the front, you had Chase Elliott, then you had William Byron, and then you had Jeff Gordon and Jeff Bodine, and that was their little thing. If it wasn't for the fact of being the first time walking on the track and that's just saying you did that, that was a waste of money if you're not a Hendrick Motorsports homer. Mm-hmm. That was nuts. That was silly. They had the 5 car from his championship run because he didn't do it in the next gen. I think it was his championship run, sitting out there in the fanfare area from when he won. They threw a new tire on. I mean, they didn't touch the thing. They just moved it over there. Hendrick wasn't there because he had knee surgery. Mm-hmm. People were connecting lines to that because last time something like this happened, Hendrick had leukemia or something. They was claiming leukemia. Mm-hmm. And then you have, which, if he's having leukemia, is he on the type of leukemia that's like Roman Reigns? So somebody asked him that after WrestleMania. Like, we hear you're not feeling well. And he's like, I take drugs I take a chemotherapy every day, and I'm gonna have to take it for the rest of my life. He's like, I'm blessed enough that I can work, like, do my job, but I have to take this chemotherapy every day. So I don't, anyway, Jeff Gordon was there. It was a very, very silly, just being there listening and then watching on TV. It was
he's such a nerd.
Well, him and Bodine were supposed to do the Start Your Engines. Well, they're like, okay, crowds, fans, let's do this with us. And then, I mean, it was weak. Frank the Tank with the Dude Wipes 250 or whatever it was. That was a great Start Your Engines.
Yeah.
He did it well. But going back to Hendrick Motorsports at the track, okay, so we have the Hendrick stuff all over the place. Then you look up on the, like, it's not even a scoring pylon because they don't even have the numbers. They just have the TVs on top. And every so often they bring up, here's where the Hendrick Motorsports people are running. It's like they gave so much preferential treatment to Hendrick. And everybody's like, they set this up for Hendrick. Everything was Hendrick Motorsports. Mm-hmm. And everybody was just there for the show. Mm-hmm. And I get you want to celebrate the 40th anniversary.
They've done it so many times for Hendricks.
Right. Well, I get you want to celebrate the 40th anniversary, but at the same time, it's like, really? That was stupid, in my opinion. You just showed that you don't really care about your other teams.
It was an exhibition race, and it was rigged for them to win.
And we'll get into that a little bit later because there's some things that are coming out that people are saying. So
it was the most wussified race I've ever seen.
Which we'll talk about that too, because some things that came out and talked about. So going into our qualifying, top 5, Briscoe, Truex, Elliott, Bubba, Larson was our top 5. Larson got the pole. Stage 1 ended. Larson won, Bubba, Chase Elliott, Briscoe, Truex 5th. Stage 2, Denny, Bubba, Larson, Elliott, Logano was 5. And then just getting into the race. And this is where it's raised a lot of flags. So you had Larson leading a lot. Chase Elliott got up there. Everybody was going nuts because Chase Elliott was leading the race. Bubba, Joey, and Denny were the only ones that contested for the lead outside of Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah. I
mean, you had a couple of the guys running, like Suarez ran for a little bit, but that was on pit strategy, which some of the pit strategies were just flat out stupid. I'm calling the 19 out. The 19 crew chief, this is why we're called the armchair crew chief, because that dude has made countless stupid decisions, and he's still on the pit box. I don't
understand how he qualified so well, and then he just kept losing.
Well, he said the car was crap
every time. Well, why was the car crap? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and just go over top 5 for.
But his team, like, if the car's good, they'll do good. But if the car's bad, they can't fix it to save their life.
Well, all they do is stinking tire pressure changes.
Yeah, it's like he really needs somebody else that knows what they're doing that can give him.
Well, good luck with that.
I would rather him do like an aggressive change and you'd be like, "Whoa, this thing is really bad now."
Right.
To like, instead of just nothing happening.
Tire pressure.
It doesn't nothing happens.
All they do is tire pressure changes.
Then he just goes backwards. It's so dumb.
So, Our top 10 finishing, Chase Briscoe, 10th. Priest, 9th. Bowman, 8th. That's a key right there. Tyler Reddick, 7th. Logano, 6th. Blaney, 5th. Bubba, 4th. And then we have Chase, 3rd. Kyle, 2nd. William Byron, 1st. William Byron's got the 3rd win this season. How in the world did he get up there? There was also and people were joking around because, we had the detonator in the tires. No, I'm not saying that. So John Hunter blew a tire, got in the wall, caught fire.
Yeah,
that was a wreck.
Pretty bad, yeah. But there was only one other, really wreck before that, too. It was a spin. It was
a spin.
Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell spun out of turn 4, and that was it.
Yeah.
This was
so terrible.
It was very boring. Sitting there, it was cool to see the cars go by.
And just short track should be spins. There should be, all the time. There was none of that. There was none. It was follow the leader, and then you had a few cars like Denny who would get up there and bump people out of the way. But that's it. There was nothing else. It was so bad.
So Door Bumper Clear put out there, and Brett Griffin said it. He's like, we need to do something about this. I'm tired of NASCAR saying we're going to make changes to the short track stuff, and they do nothing. And then Freddie and TJ come out because Brett's not spotting for Cup Series anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't think he spots too much anymore at all, except for when Colic needs something. They come out every time they go out there and practice or test things, everybody gets better. It's Freddie was talking about with Bubba. Bubba's trying to search the track to find more speed, and he's like, dude, you're running with the leaders. He said they were a 10th off or so. Mm-hmm. That was it. Mm-hmm. And Denny
there was no pushing people out of the way.
No.
That's short track.
That's the point. And that goes to my next comment that I saw, or video clip. Denny was talking about on his podcast. He was like, the 2 car was in front of me after I pitted. Because the caution, Denny comes in, he's the only one that pitted. Everybody else stayed out. Which just pretty much ruined it for everybody a lap down because the leader didn't come down, so they couldn't do a wave around. So he comes out and says, I tried to get around the 2 to get up there to get to them. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get to the 2 to even bump him to move him out of the way. He's like, there's no... They've made this car so specific in short track racing that it can't. And, so moving... This is the very interesting part here, too. So Joey led 84 laps. Let me see how many did Denny... Denny led 66.
Well, that caution came out, too. Okay, here's the thing that's really annoying. That caution came out, and they're going around.
Right.
And that caution, I believe,
they had a debris caution, too.
Okay, that caution came out, I feel on purpose. I don't know. Because they were trying to get Bowman up there so that they could be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
For them to go 1, 2, 3.
So, but then somebody else spins on right before they go over to get the flag, and they don't throw the caution.
Cindric spun, wrecked, and it was right before the white flag, and they didn't throw the caution.
And I'm like,
but let's go back to Richmond, where
exactly.
Kyle Larson spins.
He's on the apron, and he could keep going.
I got to hit the yellow flag. Got to hit the yellow flag. But they don't do it on this track. What? Yeah,
it's are you serious?
Inconsistency at its finest. For all those bums that are talking about, Truex is such a whiner. Okay, I am not. I won't argue that he does whine a lot, and Denny jumped the line. You can't argue that because you watched the replay. But nobody is freaking talking about Richmond when Bubba spun out Kyle Larson and they threw the flag like that. They just threw it real quick, and he lost 2 spots.
But nothing was wrong. He spun around,
caught it, and then went on.
And he was on the...
Cindric hits the wall. He comes by us. His hood is bent up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's a caution. And then they're listening to the broadcast on the scanner. They're like, and we take the white flag. The next one's going to end it. It's like, what the heck?
Yep.
What is going on here? Thanks a lot.
And this literally comes down to NASCAR and money. That's what it comes down to.
And so I'm gonna go out here because we were talking about this on the ride home last night. Somebody called into NASCAR radio on Sirius XM and didn't want to come out and say it was conspiracy. Oh no, this is a freaking not a conspiracy. This is a guarantee.
Oh yeah, there's absolutely no way that they had that caution to try and get Bowman up there, but they still I don't know why Bowman is still racing. Really, he's not good at all. Okay, like they wanted him up there so they'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'd be 40th and whatever.
Right.
And the reason why it really pulls it all together is they interview Jeff Gordon afterwards, and he's like, we couldn't script this any better. And that's almost identical to what Rick Hendrick said at the Daytona 500 when, who won again? Byron in the number 24. Jeff Gordon wants that 24 number to be as popular as the number 3.
Well, it's not going to get... And I'm gonna
I'm just saying. So this is how they're doing it. They're rigging it somehow so that this can happen.
Right. And I'm going to get to something else that's interesting here, too. Some people I heard talking. Ignorance is what I'm going to call it. But, and then, this is the crap that comes out. This was Byron. Just so proud of everyone at Hendrick Motorsports. Grew up a big Hendrick fan. To be here for the 40th anniversary, all that goes just this organization, all the people. It's all about the people. Just want to thank Mr. Hendrick and Linda and everyone involved. It's pretty awesome. Badass to win at Martinsville. We've been struggling at the short tracks, which is bullcrap because Larson doesn't struggle at the short tracks. No. And then so we go back.
But it's like so vanilla. They're not even excited.
Yeah.
Like Hendrick's drivers, when they win anymore, they're not even excited. So, they know they're going to win. No. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They don't even get excited. They talk and they're like, oh, that was so great. I'm so happy. Yeah.
And I can't find who it was. I don't know where he finished 29th. So, Ricky Stenhouse did pretty decent. And I say that because watching... So, it was kind of funny. So... Gilliland on the first pit because nobody wanted to pit under green because they had to at the end of the stage 3 because of how everything ran. Yeah. Green flag, no cautions, nothing. Todd Gilliland had a wedge wrench stuck in his car. Yeah. Got a penalty for that. Stenhouse did pretty decent. Even though he finished 29th, I'm going to give him props. And the reason I'm going to do this was Chase Elliott punted him on pit road. Turned him completely around.
And his tire was sticking out of the box, so they couldn't even service him until people left so he could change.
And he got a speeding penalty.
I feel like NASCAR really pushes people down.
This is turning into, and I'm not going to say what I want to say because we try to keep this as clean as possible. But this turned into a crap show, NASCAR. It's a freaking joke. And I'm going to throw this, so,
Well, my theory is, it's if you've noticed in the past couple of years, there's been a lot of WWE stars at the NASCAR events. So, I'm not saying every race is scripted, but they're definitely scripting some races.
Possibly.
They definitely are scripting some races. I think last year, Bowman was supposed to be the champion with those 6 wins. Mm-hmm. They're going to give it, not Bowman, Byron. And, he's probably going to win the championship this year because it's Hendrick's 40th. So,
no, I think they're going to fall flat.
They're going to make the 24 win the championship. They want that number to be bigger than the 3, and it's not going to ever happen.
No, because...
But they want it to be.
And speaking of the 3, it was kind of funny. Corey LaJoie came out, and they were running. He asked the spotter, he's like, is the 3 car out on old tires or anything like that? What's going on with him? Spotter comes back, no, he just sucks. It's like, that's the story of Austin Dillon's life.
That's a shame because...
As bad as he is, he still cannot bring that 3 car down. That's like the 8 car. Now, granted, you've had Reddick in there, which was decent, and Kyle Busch, for, lack of whatever, he's a pretty decent driver. And they haven't brought that number down. Now, RC has, in my opinion, the way he acts and the way he's bullheaded about everything.
Yes.
but it's a mix of RC. It's the two-headed dragon with RC and Austin Dillon beeping up the 3-car, and they still can't bring it down because of Dell Sr.
They're so full of themselves.
I mean, even Teresa Earnhardt.
Austin Dillon should have never.
Things up.
Dillon should have never been put in the number 3 car.
I saw something.
Never.
Well, I saw something. Somebody said Austin Dillon should have been working at the O'Reilly's Auto Parts in Kannapolis. That's where he needs to be. So yeah, that people are calling it out on there was an article I was reading just before we started the podcast about people were calling out, this seems kind of suspect that on the 40th anniversary they go 1, 2, 3. And then
it was supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then other people said, it seems like that Chevrolet Camaro with Hendrick is just cheating. And how, as much as I like the Garage 56 car at Le Mans, you do that and you team up with, and they claim that they talk to the other teams out there in NASCAR. They didn't. They were like, no, they really didn't. To put that together, it's like you're showing favoritism in a sport, which is ridiculous.
They show favoritism to Hendrick and they show favoritism to Denny.
Yeah, because Denny's got...
And Denny has a very loud mouth and the way he talks and everything, and they're trying to appease him.
Which, I mean, if you want to pull out the DEI stuff with Denny, because he's got Michael Jordan and then he's got Bubba Wallace, what about Daughtry? I think that's who it is. In JTG, Brian Daugherty.
Mm-hmm.
He was he's what, the first African American owner?
Yeah.
You got Wendell Scott, the first driver. You got, Brad Daugherty, the first owner. And it's like they don't pay too much mind to him.
No.
Which, I mean, he probably doesn't mind it. He probably wants to be behind the scenes when it comes to the race team.
Yeah. But the way Denny was talking this week on his podcast, too, talking about how much money he gives to pours back into NASCAR, and he was kind of ragging on SMI a lot, but
I don't know if you saw that. Speaking of that,
yeah, no,
Marcus
I saw that.
Smith, the tweets going back and forth between them two. So that started because they repaved Sonoma over the wintertime, December-ish.
Okay, so at the same time, too, Denny needs to grow up, and he just needs to actually talk to people face to face instead of doing this childish stuff online.
Side note about the childish stuff. Apparently, he came out and claimed Truex doesn't go to the driver meetings ever. He hasn't been to a driver meeting in over 2 years. It's like he goes out fishing and hunting.
Okay.
That was because they were like, "Oh, so what happened at the driver meeting?" He's like, he wasn't there. Kind of talking about it bad, but then he goes and talks out the other side of his mouth. He's like, he needs that stuff because that helps him clear his mind.
Yeah, he's very childish. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
He does very childish things. And I mean, and then he comes out and he has some points, and I agree with some of the stuff, SMI should not be getting all the money that they're getting and then putting out a poor product.
Well, that's
but he still needs to talk to them. But then just saying how much he puts into it and everything, and then you're just like, yeah, and that's why you won the race at Richmond.
But the two suspect races, the past two races we're calling suspect, with Hendrick going 1, 2, 3, and then Denny winning at Richmond. Those are NASCAR tracks. They're not SMI tracks.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying they're the ones that have the money that are putting money into NASCAR. So NASCAR just plays favorites. Right. So, because just like you're saying, just what I've been saying all along, Cindric doesn't matter. He doesn't matter at all. He spins, no caution. Larson spins, he matters, so we're pushing the caution button right away. So, I said exactly that. I'm like, if it's a no-name person, somebody doesn't do very well, they're not putting the caution out because they don't care, because it doesn't benefit them.
But you got Cindric's with Penske, and his daddy runs the team.
That's what I'm saying, though. But he's not doing well. He's not up there all the time. So they're not throwing the caution for him.
Cindric is like Ty Gibbs and Austin Dillon. That's how he got into those, with family running the thing. Gibbs has a talent, as far as I can tell, to back it up that the other two don't.
Yeah, Cindric is probably in the middle there. Dillon's definitely on the bottom.
Cindric's a better road racer, but he hasn't shown it. In the Cup Series. He showed it in Penske running the 2-car or whatever it was for Xfinity.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have been 2 because that's RCR, the 22 car. And then Penske got out. But anyway, yeah, but so with the SMI thing, they were going back and forth, which, I mean, that's pretty bad if you ask me. So what happened? So they did a repave at Sonoma over the wintertime. They ran a touring car series there. Touring car series tore, and this is after they ran testing there.
Yeah.
Tore up the track in one of the turns. I think it was like 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like piece of concrete coming, or a piece of blacktop just coming off.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you guys do wrong? Who'd you hire to do this?
Right. And and the way it comes, it's like totally like they're two separate tracks.
Yeah.
One on top of the other. It's like
right.
Like it did not like
adhere.
Yeah.
Right. And then we're going to another place that's going to have a repave soon. That's going to be which is a SMI track.
Mm-hmm.
A big total snooze fest. I see, but I still stick to this, and I would be okay with this. If they did to Texas what they did to Atlanta.
Yeah.
To make it another super speedway.
Yeah.
I think that would be okay. That would make it interesting. Let's put it that way.
They gotta, but at the same time too, they gotta stop messing with everything, because every time they put their little hands on it, they screw it up.
Well, Texas was a snooze fest.
No, I get that, but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, it's like the cars were doing fine on short tracks, and then we get this new car, and then they suck terribly.
And they've
changed
changed
and we
things
need to fix it. We need to fix it,
But
and
they're
they
not
can't
fixing
fix it. They just make things worse.
So, like what we talked about.
It's like,
well,
if
here's
it's
a comment.
not broken, don't fix it.
As much as I am against those tires at Bristol, bring those back because it actually made you have to think and drive carefully.
Yeah, but that race ended up sucking too because of that.
No, I thought it added more suspense in my opinion.
Suspense, but the racing wasn't good.
Yeah, because nobody's beating and banging off the wall. You want them to wrap it in sheet metal instead of composite and bounce off the wall and bounce off themselves.
I'm not saying there has to be crashes all the time, but I need passing. I want passing.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with this car.
They need passing.
So, I
know, that's what I hate.
And I think
what's the point of racing to watch them go single file and just around and around? It's the stereotype that NASCAR has gotten that you're just going around in circles. Yeah, literally, that's what we're doing now.
MRN came out and did it. And I think the reason that it happened was adding the fifth gear in the car. Because they said, they were talking about it, MRN was, and they're like, you can go in with this car and you can downshift to keep the revs high enough.
Yeah, you preload it. That's what they were saying on the...
And you just go around and you have it enough that if you mess up, you can upshift and then you pick back in. But you got power deliveries there.
It pops it in to gear for you.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying on TV.
Okay.
They're saying they basically just like put it there and they rev it high enough and it pops it into gear for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's that sequential gear shift probably. But at the same time, if you want to keep the 5 gears and change your gearing ratio. I mean, in my opinion, the fifth speed shouldn't be... The only place those should be used is at super speedways, the really big tracks. If you throw Pocono in there. And then road courses.
Why are they using the fifth gear on...
Because they can. It's there.
A little small track like this.
They're trying to bring back the idea of this car going back to more of a stock car, like a car that you can go pick up at the show, which it's never going to be because of the parts that's in it.
Yeah.
You cannot go out and buy a composite car.
I just feel like, but I feel like also too
anymore.
That like from like 2020 when they put this out and everything, it's like they're all worried about crashing these cars because they cost so much money. Yeah. So then they don't race. They literally don't race.
Well, it wasn't even so much the money. It was the fact they didn't have any parts.
Well, that was NASCAR, before, but now it's expensive. So they can get the parts now, but they're still really expensive.
Right.
And they don't want to be putting that money out.
So...
And this, like, we've just wussified racing.
So we just stated, like, 5 or 6 reasons why I think NASCAR is in a decline. As much as there are more people going and more people viewing it, from an...
It just makes more people mad.
Yeah, I think so. But it was
and they are, because they're talking about things that we've been talking about for years.
Right.
They're just finally starting to talk about this stuff.
Well, it's because there's more people watching. And there's nothing else on TV. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to, like, Sunday, what are you going to do? Watch Caitlin Clark lose to Dawn Staley's team, who went undefeated, plus the fact that Dawn Staley comes out, and yes, I'm going to get slightly political here. She said, if a man becomes a woman and wants to play sports, that person should be allowed to play sports.
That's just because she wants to win, and she knows if a man gets on her team, they'll win. And she just went undefeated, and that's so dumb.
So anyway, and I like what Caitlin Clark said. I don't really care for her because I don't like the way she acts, but she's really talented, and she's like, I don't care about winning. It's like, I played with my team, and I played to go out there and do my best.
Yeah.
And you got Angel Reese that's complaining about, after winning the championship, it's been so tough and depressing. It's like, no, you weren't complaining about that when you were winning. You complained about that after you lost.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, so we're gonna digress from that. Go back to this. So the whole idea with NASCAR and people catching on the Hendrick thing, and just how boring these races have been. It seems like a lot of people are like, the race is boring, and we either fast forward or we don't watch until the final, like, 15 laps. And it clicks, and this is also another reason. And I don't know if this is stupidity, this is ignorance. So when I was standing on the track, there was a woman, I don't know how old she was young, fairly young, and she came out, and I heard her talking to, I guess it was with her parents, whatever. She wasn't a teenager or anything. She was 20s, 30s, whatever. And she's like, the thing wrong with NASCAR is they got Toyota in it. And Toyota, why are we letting that foreign cars come in here and run these things? And Toyota this, and they're winning these races, and we need Chevrolet, and we need these other things. It took everything without me to just turn and say, excuse me, do you know where the Tundras are made? Do you know where the Tacomas are made? Do you know where a lot of these other cars are made? They're more American than these Canadian source parts assembled vehicles that are American cars. Even I said
Honda's more American made than anything.
Right. And so it took all strength to not turn over and say, oh, just wait a few years from now whenever Honda gets into NASCAR, because it's coming.
Yeah.
And because she would have just blew a gasket. She would have just probably died right there.
Yeah.
Because she's talking about, and I think she was talking about, like getting Dodge or something there. I also in terms like, Chevrolet's leaving NASCAR too because they don't have a car. They stopped the production of the Camaro because they want to go all EV and follow that road. And
I don't understand how they think that they can run EV cars on these racetracks, especially when you have like Sonoma that's just coming up from that. And let's put a super heavier car on it.
That's not even the point. The point is, they don't have a production gas vehicle. They're stopping the production of the Camaro.
Yeah.
So what are they going to put? The Chevy Bolt EV is the new car, the Cup car, and the new car for Xfinity.
Oh, they probably think it's
they're probably going to move I think they're going to move the Cadillac. Cadillac's still got their sports car. They're the ones that run the supercars, the sports car racing and all that. Move the Cadillac, which people are going to go flipping lids because Cadillac is a rich man's car. That's what they're going to be thinking. And it's like, come on. This is the stuff that was coming out of that person's mouth was just flat stupid. And I'm surprised I held my tongue and didn't say anything.
I'm surprised too.
Because
you're very mad about it.
Well, I almost I didn't want to start any crap on because we were on the front stretch of Martinsville.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start any crap.
Why not?
I didn't want to get kicked out before the race even started. But anyway, so I mean that was pretty stupid, and if that shows you a snippet of something, and that's the old thinking NASCAR fans. Like I remember when Toyota came in, I thought it was kind of dumb, but at the same time they're competing and winning, and if they met all the criteria.
Okay, I didn't think Toyota coming in was dumb. I thought when Dodge came in, But I think that was more just because they looked so bad.
Well, the
they
thing
were
with
so
Dodge,
ugly.
So my problem, and this goes back into the olden days, my problem with Dodge is you had Chevrolet, you had General Motors. Then you go into Mopar, and you had like the 6 or 7 different cars for Mopar in there. You had Plymouth, you had Dodge, you had Chrysler, and all that. I mean, and kudos to Toyota, because Toyota is the only manufacturer out there that has put 2 separate cars in their lower series and their and the Cup series. Everybody else is running the Camaro and the Dark Horse. Which, fun fact here, ever since they switched to Dark Horse, you know how many wins Ford has had?
0
across all 3 series. 0. Ford has not won a race this year.
Yeah.
Now, I know the F-150 is different, but still, you change the buy styles of your Cup car with Toyota. Toyota's at least hanging. Ford will qualify, but what's that going to get you? A gold star, and you can run the All-Star race? Which the All-Star race is getting stupid now, too, because you have the Open where you can get in by running the first set.
And it's like, what's the point of a pole anymore? You get nothing for a pole now. It's
you
just
get a nice
clap on
little
the
flag
back.
that says Busch Light pole on it.
And you get to pick your spot first. And it's like,
what's stupid about that, too, is you get, like, let's say you're running at Martinsville last weekend in Xfinity, and you get the pole. And I think it's truck, too. You get the pole. You don't get to choose your pit stall for that. It's not based on pit stall assignments for that qualifying. Next week's pit stall assignments are based on your qualifying at Martinsville.
Okay.
I heard that, and I thought that was very silly.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's our rants. A lot of things happening. Danica was stirring more crap, too.
Danica Patrick, they need to stop bringing her on. Like, she didn't win a dang race.
No, she stunk.
She was not the first woman
the only race, listening to that guy break hard
NASCAR
on TikTok, the only race that she won, even in IndyCar, was a fuel mileage split race. That's like Austin Dillon winning, or I'm sorry, JJ, or Justin. That's like Justin Haley winning the night race at Daytona because it rained. And he was just leading because they were doing pit strategy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And the crap, like, did she have the hots for Truex or something?
I don't know, because she got turned down for him or something, because she is so bitter about him. And she just says because he raced her hard when he was lapping her. And I'm like, so you're still bitter about that, and you have not raced in how long? No, there's something else going on there.
So let's do a little bit of background on this. So she was on Rusty Wallace's podcast.
No, it's not Rusty Wallace. It's Kenny Wallace.
Kenny, sorry. I'm stuck with, because Rusty was somewhere else we were talking about. So Kenny Wallace's podcast. And Kenny's like, whoa, I wasn't even going to go there. Because she comes up. She's like, yeah, you know who I don't really like? I don't really like Martin Truex. And it's like, what? Why you just pulled that out of left field? So they keep going, and she's like, yeah, he was a you-know-what to me racing. He'd always race me close when he'd passing me when I was a lap down. And the guy that was clipping the video from this, he's like, well, maybe next time you shouldn't have tried being a lap down. You should have been racing. Maybe it wouldn't have happened. But then she goes on, and she's like, I also didn't like the way he did that relationship right with Sherry. And it's like, oh my gosh. Sherry ran everything. She was so to the point with stuff.
Exactly.
And we don't even know, and that's just the little
Nobody knows the details of what went on there.
Right.
And you can speculate all you want, but she should not have said what she said when Sherry died.
No, she shouldn't have said that.
Horrible.
But then to say it again.
And then she says it again, and you're like... And nobody said anything. Nobody said anything negative when that happened.
No,
nobody else. Only her.
Mouth.
And if it was really something horrible, and he did something horrible,
something would have came up.
Something would have came out, and other people would have been like backing away from him and different other things.
Exactly. But then,
if you listen to the stuff, like we watched Sherry's memorial thing at Junior's place.
Right.
Okay. They all talked about how she was in control of like everything. She managed everything. It was Sherry's world, and you just lived in it. So we have thoughts on what happened, but I'm not going to say anything of that out there because that's their personal life.
Right.
That was their personal life. She died. Okay. It's between those two. Nobody else needs to know anything, and you don't need to say anything.
Why is she always bashing other people, though? It's like, I saw somebody said she bashes other women drivers. She holds them down. She is just a thorn in the side of the racing.
She's bitter. She's a bitter old lady now.
And it's like,
she's not super old, but like for racing and whatever.
Let's look inward a little bit. You dated Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He broke up with you. You dated freaking Aaron Rodgers, and you guys split up. Maybe it's you, not them.
Well, because she was married, and I think something happened between there, if I remember correctly.
I'm not gonna.
They got a divorce because of her.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. And I don't mean this in any disrespect to Kurt Busch, but they probably would be a good couple together. I mean, Kurt Busch had the spy that wanted to kill him. And then Kurt Busch had the woman that he married. I think he married.
Yeah.
The polo player that went bat crap crazy.
Yes.
It's like,
they would make a wonderful couple.
That would be very interesting.
Although I would feel bad for Kurt Busch still.
Yeah, I would feel bad for the dude too.
Like, she just needs to get her.
And I think Kyle and Samantha would probably kick the crap out of Danica if Danica was around spewing the crap that she has.
She just can't keep her mouth shut. And then they bring her on for stuff like
nobody
Indy
likes
stuff.
her. Indy 500.
Nobody does.
Nobody likes her for the Formula One broadcasting.
Okay, so also too, Clint does not like her, and you can tell. He will not look at her.
No.
When she talks and they're in the booth together, he won't look at her.
Right. Yeah,
because
I remember that.
Nobody likes her because, obviously she's saying this stuff after Sherry died, and she's being so disrespectful. And she hasn't raced with Truex in years, and she's still mad about it, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
Okay?
Build a bridge and get over it.
I can see why people don't like her. Like, because she's obviously saying other things, too.
Right.
Just, can we move on from her, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't need her commentating on anything anymore.
Yeah. So moving on to this weekend. Texas. We have all 3 series at Texas. It's probably going to be...
No, you gotta say it like this. Texas!
It's Fort Worth. Fort Worth. There's a song by Jared Birmingham. It's like, something about like Fort Worth and Dallas are not really Texas. They're southern Oklahoma. And I can't remember the name of that song. It's by Jared Birmingham, 2 R's.
You're so silly. You have a song for everything.
Of course. So anyway, let's look at our entry list for the SpeedyCash.com 250.
Ooh, Speedy Cash. I would like some of that.
So we have Chris Wright from Wexford, Pennsylvania, running the number 1.
From where?
Wexford.
Wexford. I've never heard of that.
Wexford, Pennsylvania. Let's find out. Pickle Nick, as we call him, Nick Sanchez.
I don't call him that. You do.
is running again. So Wexford is got to be out near Pittsburgh, Cranberry Township. Yeah, north of Pittsburgh is Wexford.
Okay.
So he's running the 2. Gainbridge. You have Mason Massey, Randco. Dean Thompson is running Mickey Utility, excuse me. Kyle Busch is going to be running this race. Realtree. Grant Enfinger. Corey Heim, Jake Garcia, Tanner Gray, Taylor Gray, Tyler Ankrum, Christian Eckes. The 20, I think that is, to be announced, is running that. That seems to be a good driver.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of sponsorships, too. Keith McGee is running the 22. Ty Dillon, Brett Holmes, Lawless Allen, Lane Riggs, Bailey Curry, Matt Mills, Daniel Dye, Johnny Sauter, Thad Moffitt, Stuart Friesen, Timmy Hill, Connor Jones, Rajah Cruz, again, Hendrick car. I can't. That's the only thing I don't like. I really like Rajah. He seems like he's a cool dude. When they did the little like NASCAR for kids Zoom thing and all that.
Yeah.
I just hate that he's getting tied up with Hendrick. And I know he liked Hendrick back in the day, but still.
Yeah. They just turn them into little minions. Or, what are those? Lemmings.
Lemming.
That's more like it. They turn them into lemmings.
Stephen Parsons, Spencer Boyd, Chase Purdy, Matt Crafton, Zane Smith, Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes. Then moving on to the... Where are we here? Andy's Frozen Custard 300.
Ooh, yummy.
And speaking of
Cole
custard,
Cole
Custer is running the Andy's Frozen Custard car.
Yeah, because he has a custard flavor.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I wish there was one of those around here. That'd be interesting to try some of that. Like those different things.
I love frozen custard.
You have Sam Mayer running Carolina Carports. Jesse Love.
You don't even have to throw it on their thing. Just say.
Okay, I'm sorry. My accent comes out. Dawson Cram is running to be announced. Fast Pasta is running.
Yes.
Is running Botticelli family owned pasta car. Garrett Smith
Pasta. It's like pasta squared.
Yeah. Justin Allgaier is running the Brandt trademark nitrogen. Patrick Emmerling is going to be running the 07. I always find that interesting. You're running a 7 and then you're running a 07.
Is that the guy from England?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Patrick Emmerling is from... I could be wrong. It's SS Greenlight Racing. Why are you not working? I was trying to look him up. Sammy Smith is going to be running the Pilot Flying J. Patrick Emmerling is an American professional stock car racing. Yeah, place of birth, Oxford Park.
Boom, confetti.
Sammy Smith, Pilot Flying J Coffee. Brandon Jones, Menards, and Atlas Roofing. Daniel Dye is running the B Pro Auto Parts. Josh Williams running Alloy Employer. David Starr is running Char. Haley Deegan's got Airbox. Side note, I saw they were interviewing somebody for the Xfinity race. They were interviewing Allgaier and Brandon Jones together. And you see Haley Deegan in the background. She's got her hat on. She's like tucking it down low so like nobody can see her. I'm like, Haley, you have long hair and you have curves. They're going to know it's you. I'm sorry. You don't stop covering your face. Almendinger, Celsius. Sheldon Creed's running, again, he's been running this one off. Friends of Jacqueline Foundation.
Yeah.
Operation 300's Taylor Gray running the 19. Ryan Truex is back.
Yay.
Running the 20. The Toyota Gazoo Racing. Austin Hill running the Global Industrial Bennett Racing car. Corey Heim, Toyota Genuine Parts. Sam Hunt Racing. Jeb Burton, State Water Heaters. Kyle Sieg, RSS Racing. RSS is like newsfeed type thing that you can get stuff. It was funny. We were coming home last night and we passed a Bitcoin transportation company. Like they haul. Josh looked it up, but it was it was funny. But it's like we were speculating that they made a ton of money with Bitcoin and then just bought a trucking company. Because it's called Bitcoin Trucking or something like that. It was funny.
Interesting.
Let's see. Kyle Sieg is going to be running. Okay, that's him. Blaine Perkins is running autoparkit.com. Parker Retzlaff, Funkaway. Joey Gase, Donate Life Texas. Matty D running Viking Motorsports. Ryan Sieg, SciApps, SCIAPS. Leland Honeyman. Distributor Wire.
We got Honeycut.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Ellis, Eclipse Claims Consulting. Brennan Poole, Prime Bites Brownie.
Prime Bites Brownie.
Yeah. Parker Kligerman's running Spike Coolers again, the light ones. Let's see let's jump some of these. Chandler Smith, Quick Tie. Josh Blicky, Milestone. SVG is to be announced. And Riley Herbst is Monster Energy again. You know what? It was pretty stupid. I looked that up. I looked that information up. Who was the guy that we were talking about? And you're like, oh, that's the
England. Patrick
Emmerling. Was he in the trucks? No, here he is. No, Orchard Park, New York is what they're calling his hometown.
Oh.
It didn't say that on when I Googled it real quick. Uh-huh. And then we have our Cup Series race. Cup Series race is going to be the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Say that 5 times fast.
No, thank you.
Chastain's running Worldwide Express. Cindric running Discount Tire. Austin Dillon running Bass Pro. Josh Berry is to be announced.
Josh Berry's car was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was a really pretty car to see in person.
The Mobile One car was... That Mobile One's put out some really good cars this year.
They're not playing around. They took over the sponsorship for the...
Berry's is the best so far, but the other ones were really good too.
Yeah.
They haven't put an ugly one out yet.
No, they haven't. They're the ones that took over the Ruoff Victory Lane. It's not Ruoff Victory Lane anymore. So let's go here. Keselowski, buildsubmarines.com. I mean, if he can plow it, might as well build some submarines. Corey LaJoie's running Schulter Systems. Still don't know really what that is. Kyle Busch is running Zone, which I think is the Zen style stuff. Nicotine. Chase Elliott's running Hooters because, everybody goes there for the hot wings. That's like I saw a sign. I'm getting sidetracked. Going to Harrisburg. Driving down to Martinsville. So Savannah's put up a sign. Savannah's is a gentleman's club in Harrisburg.
Okay.
And it said 50-cent wings. I'm like, yeah, everybody's going to Savannah's for the 50-cent wings, let me tell you.
Yeah. Applebee's apparently boneless wings are 50 cents as well. Because I only saw that commercial 40 times.
I wouldn't mind going to Applebee's for that.
They're just glorified chicken nuggets.
I don't care. It's the sauce on them.
Okay, well, buy some sauce and put them on your chicken nuggets, and there you go.
I don't know. Noah Gragson, Overstock.com. Denny Hamlin, Yahoo! Ryan Blaney, Menards, and Nauf Insulation. Chase Briscoe is running Rush Truck Centers and Cummins. Kaz Gralla is running N29 again, and that 15. The 15's got that N29 Capital Partners for everything. Ty Dillon's going to be running the 16, so it's probably going to be finishing dead last. I'm sorry. I thought I gave Ty Dillon a chance. He stinks.
Did I. I gave him a chance,
Best
too.
Seafood.
I feel like he was better than his brother, and now he's not.
Yeah. Mr. Busher running the home state guy there, running from Prosper, Texas. Fifth Third Bank. Martin Truex Jr. running Bass Pro Shops. That got stinking confusing. Austin Dillon and Truex. Uh-huh. You kind of knew the differences in them, but when they're flying by you, you're looking oh, look. And I was like, oh, that's the 3 car. And go look for the 19. Christopher Bell's running Ream. Harrison Burton's running Freightliner. Joe Logano's running AAA Insurance. Bubba Wallace is running...
Did you have AAA and have a hair club for men on that one?
Yeah. Oh, we were going to the holler because getting something from Blaney. And I was like, hey, yeah, go to the guy that's got the real hair, not the fake hair. Because they redid the wrap on Joey's car and has him with hair now.
Oh, my goodness.
He's not wearing a hat. Oh, he can hang out with Frankie Muniz.
I'm happy for him. He looked silly without his hair.
Bubba Wallace running Columbia Sportswear. William Byron running Liberty University.
Boring, Mr. Vanilla.
Daniel Hemrick's running South Point Hotel and Casino. I'm waiting for Tillman Fertitta.
Can we put a bar on it and see if you win anything?
So that would be a cool paint scheme. Okay, Tillman Fertitta, if you ever listen to this, he's the dude that owns Golden Nuggets, Houston Rockets, went to University of Houston, so he's dumped a lot of money there. But he owns the Golden Nugget. Uh-huh. Sponsor a car in either Vegas, because they got the Golden Nugget there, Dover, because it's close to the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City, or just do it in Texas, because you got the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles. I think you got a Golden Nugget in not Shreveport, maybe in Shreveport, and in Baton Rouge you have a Golden Nugget. Sponsor a car and put a slot machine on it.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Then we have, Austin Hill is running the 33 United Rentals. That car is going to be into the wall pretty quick, if you ask me. Michael McDowell's running Love's Fleet Guard.
Maybe he'll miss a shift.
I'm not used to the sequential. I got an H pattern. I don't know what to do, but I'm the best driver out there. RC, help me out. Todd Gilliland, Long John Silvers, Ryan Priest, HaasTooling.com. I'm sorry, Ryan. You need to go down. Then you have John Hunter running Romco Equipment Company. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Eric Jones running the Dollar Tree. Tyler Reddick running the Beast Unleashed, which is what I was telling you about I saw at Kroger in Virginia. Then you have Ricky Stenhouse. Ricky Stenhouse running Boost by Kroger and Blue Buffalo.
Boost?
See if you put... Yeah, I don't know what that Boost by Kroger is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not Boost Mobile. Alex Bowman running Ally.
I was thinking of those, like, old people drinks.
Yeah, the nourishing things.
Yeah.
Justin Haley's running To Be Announced. Ty Gibbs, Interstate Batteries.
Oh, he's got the Interstate battery.
The Lightning. I hope Truex doesn't have that again this year at Pocono. I really hope so. I want him to run research or something. Or then you have Ty Gibbs running. Okay, Ty Gibbs running Interstate. Zane Smith's running Am Better Health. Carson Hocevar's running Premier Security. Jimmy Johnson's running Advent Health. He's going to be running Texas this weekend. He's going to need that Advent Health once he has to go to the care center.
Crash.
Him and Austin Hill getting into it. Lap 5.
Oh, I hope so.
Boom. Total side note because of the Premier Security. So WrestleMania was in Philadelphia this past weekend. The first night, Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson come out from the crowd and help Rey Mysterio and his guy Andrade beat Dominic, and I don't know who else was with him. Dominic Mysterio beat him. They were wearing Luchador Eagles masks. Well, they come out, and I think it was Lane Johnson had a Big Dom T-shirt on. A picture of Big Dom, like screen printed, like ironed on, and they put it together that night.
Oh, my goodness.
That's great. Oh, good old Big Dom. Jimmy Johnson, okay, Advent Health. And then Daniel Suarez is going to be running Kubota, so he's going to be running an black and orange car.
What is it?
Kubota.
Oh, okay.
Not Kubota.
Yeah.
Kubota.
Gotcha.
So that is our lineup there. And then also, shameless plug, go check out Tyler Purnell on TikTok for his paint scheme reviews and his Big Daddy Scumbag or whatever he calls it, paint scheme of the week that he does. It's great. It's funny. So moving on to that, we're going out to the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. We're talking 80, 85, 102, 267 laps. Then we go to Dega, Dover, Kansas, Darlington, Charlotte, Coke 600. Coke 600 is 100, 100, and 100. Is 100, 100, 100, and 100 for their stages.
Why? I
don't know. That's always my favorite race, and it always stinks because I'm usually filming a wedding on that day.
Yeah.
Enjoy Illinois 300 Gateway, Sonoma, Iowa, New Hampshire. Untitled race at New Hampshire. I like that. And then Nashville, Chicago, Pocono. Untitled race at Pinocchio. Pocono. And then, keep going on. We got to try to go. What would be fun to do is do the Cookout's got another race. I was telling you Cookout 400 at Richmond later on. They have the Cookout Southern 500 at Darlington too.
Oh.
I got to try Cookout next time. But we got to try and get to either the Bristol night race or see if we can just go down and watch the Xfinity 500 in Martinsville. But that's the last race before they go to Phoenix. That is, I think that's in late. I thought that was going to be, I was wrong. I thought that was like, it's the Cookout Southern 500, which is the Labor Day race. Anyway, so let's finish everything off here and give you guys the lineup and rundown here as we are ticking in well over everything, but we had a lot to unpack and a lot of cheating and a lot of other nonsense. So Friday we have practice and qualifying for Trassman Truck Series starting at 4:05 Eastern on FS1. Xfinity, you have 6 and 6:30 Eastern practice and qualifying Friday, FS1. Truck Series race Speedy Cash 250 8:30 Eastern, FS1. MRN's got the radio broadcast. Saturday you got Cup Series practice qualifying. I don't know why they do it so stinking early. 10:35 a.m. It's going to be FS1 and PRN. I want to know the difference. Why does MRN get the Truck Series and PRN? I know PRN is SMI only. So you got 10:35 and 11:20 qualifying. You got the Xfinity race at 1:30 Eastern, FS1 PRN, and then we get into Sunday at 3:30. So flag's probably going to drop at 3:35 ish, maybe. Green flag's going to drop. FS1 and PRN on Sunday at 3:30 Eastern. And that's all she wrote. So let's finish her off again with who do you think is going to win the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400?
I do not know. I do know it's not going to be Jimmy Johnson.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. 7-time can't drive a dang car no more.
7-time can only drive a car whenever he's got that Hendrick NASCAR help.
Oh, yes. Yes, sirree. And this is exactly how you can tell. I'm going to Blaney.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Ford's going to win their first race of the year.
I'm going to go Blaney.
I think that's a good... I can't pick Blaney, so... Kyle Larson.
Hopefully not.
William Byron.
Mr. Vanilla.
So our points leader has changed for the Cup Series. It is now Kyle Larson by 14 points over Truex, because Truex finished like 19th because James Small crapped the bed on his pit strategy.
No, but didn't give him any help
I'm sorry,
at all.
but again, no, James Small, I'm throwing so much shade at James Small, and I'm going to end this on this because everybody knows who listens to this podcast, and if you don't know, Martin Truex Jr. is my driver. I really like him, but I'm going to throw, I've been throwing so much shade at Small, but Truex complains too much when he's in the car. If he would just shut up and drive the dang car, that would fix probably half the problems that he has. Yeah. But he wants to complain too much. Shut your mouth and run it, and then go beat the snot out of your crew chief for making crappy things.
I think it's
changes, adjustments.
I think part of the problem is from going for when he was on Furniture Row or whatever.
Well, when Cole Pern was there too with Toyota.
But Cole would be talk to him just shut up, and would talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't think James Small's talks to him enough, and he just is always okay.
Well, he doesn't talk to him anymore, really, unless it's we're going to pit, or how did you feel this time?
Okay.
When Truex
he says stupid stuff, and I think that aggravates him.
When Truex is giving feedback to Drew Herring, a spotter, is saying 10-4, and they must be on the other channel talking, him and Small. Small doesn't talk to Truex during the track. Maybe it's because he says stupid crap like you said. I remember that one time he's like, I just said that. Did I effing stutter? That's what Truex said to him. It's that's not a good relationship.
Him. No, it's not at all. It's not at all. It's not.
That experiment has gone on way too long.
That's one thing I don't understand about Joe Gibbs, how he's not seeing this.
Oh, he probably doesn't really care. He's probably riding. He's got to worry about Grandpa. Can I drive the 11 and the 19 and the 20 with the 54? Grandpa, can you take their trophies and give it to me?
I will say, though, I was the biggest Ty Gibbs hater.
He's done really good. And he
has
to
actually,
himself.
Yes, he's actually.
I'm not going to knock him for that.
I was the biggest Ty Gibbs hater.
He's improved a lot.
I did not like him at all, but he's definitely improved a lot. I don't think that's
now. It's more like, Grandpa, can I get a new crew chief because it's their fault that I missed my pit box. Grandpa, I don't have enough 3 followers. Can we have somebody else on the car? Grandpa, can I just punt the car in front of me again to go for the race? Grandpa, can you talk to Noah and have them cloud seed so the race is ended early while I'm in leading? Anyway. All right. So, be good out there. Hope you have a great weekend, great week. Please like and share this podcast with people that like motorsports and NASCAR. And we would love to have sponsors if anybody wants to give us some sponsorship money to do things, to go to more tracks, try to broadcast maybe from some tracks. We're going to try to do that this year later on at Pocono. But just some thoughts out there. Anyway, hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye-bye.